Good morning, children. Welcome back to your English grammar classes. In the last video, I explained you finite and non-finite verbs. Now, today I'll explain there are different types of non-finite verbs. Non-finite verbs are of three types. Which are they? Infinitives, participles and gerunds. Okay, so non-finite verbs are of three types. Which are they? First one is infinitive, participles and gerunds. Now moving on to the first kind, that is the infinitive. What do you mean by infinitive? The infinitive is the base form of the verb used in a non-finite way. So it is the base form of the verb. In verb, whatever is the base form, that is being used. Generally, to is placed before the base form of the verb to make to infinitive. So if you want to make infinitive, we add to the base form of the verb. So we add to the base form of the verb if we want to make it infinitive. Now see the examples. We went to watch the film. We went to watch. So I have added to the base form of the verb, that is watch. We went to watch the film. I would like to learn dance. So again I have added to learn to make it infinitive. So if I add to the base form of the verb, it is used in a non-finite way. Some of the uses of the infinitives are shown below. Now, there are also some other uses. To as the subject of the sentence. Here, to play is his passion. In this sentence, the infinitive is used as the subject of a sentence. Like to play. See in the beginning, we have started this sentence by writing to play. I do not want to swim. Now here, I do not want what? To swim. I explained in the previous chapter, object and direct object. I do not want to do what? To swim. So here, it is used as the object of a verb. Next, to pass the test, you need to work hard. With the nature of an adverb, it has been used as the infinitive. To pass the test, what you have to do? You need to work hard. Here it has been used with the nature of an adverb. That is the way to clean the computer. So here, which is the way to clean the computer? That is the way. Here, infinitive is used as an adjective nature. I hope you have understood the different uses of the infinitive. Is that clear to you all, dear children? Okay. So moving on to the next page, that is page number 66. So when the infinitive follows certain verbs, to is often dropped. So when the infinitive is being followed after certain verbs, what happens? We drop to. Such verbs are help, dare, let, make, need, observe, fall, hear, see, watch, behold, feel, lease, etc. So these are the words when infinitive is being used after certain verbs. What happened? To is dropped. Look here. Nina did not dare disobey her father. It's not to disobey. We have dropped the infinitive to and we have used did not dare disobey her father. I heard him shout. See, in this sentence again, the infinitive to is being dropped. I heard him shout, not to shout. He made me sing. I let him go. So in these four examples, you find that when the infinitive follows certain verbs, what happens? We to is often dropped. So I hope you have all understood, children. The form of the infinitive without to is called the bare infinitive. Now in these four sentences, we drop to, isn't it? So such words, such verbs are called, infinitives are called bare infinitive. The form of the infinitive without to is called the bare infinitive. Got it? Moving on to next, that is the participle. Now see children, exercise 2 and exercise 3. In exercise 2, we have fill in the blanks with the correct infinitive form. The verbs that has been given. So verbs are given in the bracket. You have to use infinitive. How do we use infinitive? By adding to the base form of the verb. That is exercise 2. Exercise 3 is complete the following sentence using an infinitive. That you can do on your own. You can add all your own sentences or your own phrases. Okay. Then exercise 3. Open page number 67. Exercise 3, exercise 4 is combine the following sentence using infinitive. You have to combine, there are two sentences given. You have to combine using infinitive. See the first example. We went to the cinema. Children, I am reading from the book, open page number 67. Exercise 4, example. We went to the cinema. We watched a movie. Here we have two different sentences. Now, I have to combine and make it into a single sentence by using what? Infinitive. We went to the cinema. What is the verb we used? Watched. So, I use to. With what verb? To the base form of the verb. So, it becomes to watch a movie. Is that clear? We went to the cinema to watch a movie. So all the examples, all the other remaining sentences, what you have to do is, you have to combine it into one sentence using infinitive to. Very easy. Okay. Now moving on to the next kind, I already told you, we have three kinds of infinitives. Non-infinite verb are of three kinds. Those are infinitive, participle and gerund. Now moving on to the next kind, that is participle. Now look the following sentences. Lata watched Mohammed playing the match. The wounded soldiers lay in the field. See the word. Lata watched Mohammed playing is the verb. The wounded soldiers, again wounded. So these words those are, which I told, those are called participles. They are non-finite verb. Present participle and past participle. First one is ing, isn't it? So if we have ing to the base form of the verb, not to the base form, to the verb, playing, ing we have added. So that is called the present participle. Okay, Lata watched Mohammed playing the match. So playing is the present participle. It's formed by adding ing to the base form of the verb. Now next sentence, the wounded soldiers. See, wounded, it is past verb, isn't it? Past tense. So it is the past participle formed by adding ed to the base form of the verb or formed in irregular ways. Is that clear? So participle can be of two types. Okay, in non-finite verb, the participle can be used in two ways. One is by adding ing, that is the present participle, and the second form is by adding ed, that will be the past participle. You only have to keep in mind is, if we are adding ing to the base form of the verb, it will be present tense, it will be the present participle. If we are adding ed to the past base form of the verb, it becomes the past participle. Understood, children? Okay. So moving on to next. Open page number 68. Again we have two exercises after that. Exercise 5 is you have to underline the participle. Oh, it's very easy. You have to underline the participle. It can be both. It can be present or past. If it is ing, you can underline, but you don't need to mention it's present or past. You only have to pick out the participles. Is that clear? Then exercise 6, again you have to join the sentence by using a participle. Is that clear? Moving on to next, the gerund. Join the sentence using participle. See the first example. Ira saw some ladies. They were chatting in the bus. So in this sentence, Ira saw some ladies. We don't add they were. So we can remove they were and we only write Ira saw some ladies chatting in the bus. So you have joined the sentence into one. You have combined the sentence using a participle. Ira saw some ladies chatting in the bus. Second, I heard a loud scream. It was coming from the house. I heard a loud scream coming from the house. We removed it was. We looked at the beggar. He was wearing torn clothes. We looked at the beggar. Again we remove he was wearing torn clothes. Sheila wore a new dress. She went to the party. Sheila wore a new dress and went to the party. Okay. The chair was painted recently. The boy sat on it. The chair was painted recently. The boy sat on it. So these are the 5 example sentences using a participle. Or you can also use the sentence by writing boy sat on the chair painted that was painted recently. In that way also you can write boy sat on the chair that was painted recently. Is that clear? Now the last kind, that is the gerund. Now what do you mean by gerund? Gerund is a noun formed from a verb by adding ing. Is that clear? So again there may be a slight confusion that in the present participle we also add ing, but the only difference is gerund is a noun and that is formed from a verb. Is that clear? It is a place the verb, act as a noun formed from a verb and by adding ing. A gerund may always follow. It can follow adjective, preposition and other verb. It may come in the beginning of a sentence as a noun. It is not necessary that it is always used in the beginning. It can also come after the end of the sentence here. Singing is my hobby. Here the noun is what? Sing. And we have added from a verb ing. So singing is my hobby. Singing is the gerund. I love singing. Singing is the gerund by adding ing. I am tired of waiting. Waiting ing form from a verb by adding. So these verbs are called as gerund. So I hope you have all understood the 3 different kinds of non-finite verb: infinitive, participle and gerund. So is this chapter clear to all? If you have any doubt, whenever I take online doubt clearing session, you may ask your doubt. Is that clear? Till then, all of you take care.